Reserve time.
Welcome back already to Game 2 of Asus.Polar vs MVP Phoenix. I'm Godz. Joining me is Dakota. KotLGuY.
Yep.
How we doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. That
good
first game was pretty swift, I'd have to say. Asus.Polar, man, they look pretty dang good. MVP, they better come out with some new Plan B game plan.
I don't know what it is about day one, but we've had 5 stomps so far. Not a single kind of closely contested game, it feels like.
Yeah. No, they've been pretty swift.
Yep.
But we'll have to see, man. I mean, I'm still speechless, I'd have to say, just from game number 1. And I'm really curious here. MVP just need to come out with something totally fresh at this point to really bring it back. Maybe just go back to those roots and just talking about maybe their old push strats and coming up with something different. It's very apparent Asus.Polar just, they have a good thing going for them.
All right.
And they're going to look to continue it here.
Game 2 draft now underway, and you mentioned continue a good thing. It's going to be the Magnus once more coming out. Not just Na'Vi and Dendi who've been playing and prioritizing this. Asus.Polar saying this is a hero which we want to also prioritize.
They love all the same stuff, whether it's the Magnus, whether it's the Puck, the Vengeful Spirit, man. They have a tight little knit Dota community, and it's like, we got rules here, and these are the picks that we roll with, and you just better follow the trend, buddy. Whereas everyone else is trying to come in with a new fresh flavor, but as the trend has already shown, they got something good, and it's going to be hard to crack that shell.
Yeah. To me, one of the underrated thing about the Magnus is the Empower. That's where I think teams are suddenly picking him a lot and realizing how well this hero synergizes with these melee carries. Well, melee carries, it's going to be a Slark, and really just any hero that can benefit from a big boost in your base damage. Empower at level 4 gives you a lot of extra damage, up to 50% bonus damage. And that, even on a ranged hero, is a lot of extra free damage. So it's a very underrated spell, especially in the early game. That's where Magnus Dendi's like maxing it by like level 11, level 12, and just getting the 2 insecure. And I think we're going to see more of that from these Magnus players.
We'll have to see. We already mentioned how both these teams love their Slark, so we can't have a draft without it. But this time we get to see it in the hands of Asus.Polar, picking it up right here. More specifically, probably Illidan. MVP Phoenix opened up with a Bat Rider and a Silencer. I mean, you're asking for something different. This is very different to lead off a draft. You're now risking the potential that Asus.Polar could just go for easy Bat Rider combos. Hell, Vengeful Spirit is still available as a nice priority grab, and a Silencer picked up this early. I don't know if that's directly in contention to someone like Magnus and these big team fight kind of heroes and being able to try to shut them down with the press of an R button, but very, very intriguing. It's not like Silencer is something that's typically immediately gone for or banned. Maybe they could have reserved it down the line, but they're feeling confident that they want to get it right off the bat in first phase.
Yeah, it's not like you can always time that silence to stop something like a magging and RP off. If he's going for those blink RP engagements, he's getting that RP off if he gets the good blink. You're not going to be able to kind of react with the global in time generally. But.
Yeah, well, you're hoping, I would imagine, Silencer's outside of where this mag would make the jump in. The second you see it, he'll probably get the RP off, but if you can quickly follow through with the global, he won't be skewering them out. The rest of the team won't be following it up after, and it certainly works. So more than likely, the Silencer just needs to make sure he's well outside the danger zone, so we can always use that global at the most optimal time. Going through the rest of the bans here, MVP Phoenix don't want anything to do with that Axe again. They banned out the Wisp already as well. Asus.Polar, they eliminate the Drow, and now they also rid of the Faceless Void.
Okay. Drow's something MVP have run a couple of times, I think, with March playing, so works well with all these kind of... I mean, they picked 2 range heroes so far, and does suggest maybe they were going to be looking for some more, but this is where I think the Vengers maybe a pick MVP one. No, they're going Jug. Okay, so this is another kind of MVP special. Does give Asus.Polar the Venge though, and I'm surprised by that.
This is what's really intriguing to me. They banned the Puck. Last game, Mag played Mag, and Mag is their Puck player typically.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a justified ban or not, but they do sacrifice that Vengeful Spirit, and now you got the swap factor. Regardless if Bat Rider gets a BKB or not, now his jump-in initiation might not be as potent and good as it once was. Given that maybe you can jump in with Bat Rider and throw out the global, and then Vengeful Spirit won't have that quick answer, so that certainly does help. So you can guarantee initiation there, but yeah, follow up with the Jug, and now the Lion, who's been a very, very popular support pick across all regions. So.
It feels like MVP being on the dire side maybe should have gone for the Venge over the Jug so they could have the Roshan taking capabilities, because Jug was not a hero that Asus.Polar were looking to go for. They've already got the Slark, which I feel is the role that the Jug is being played in. We're not seeing the offlane Jug. We're not seeing much of a mid Jug, so it feels like they maybe just didn't want the Venge and were planning the line all along, but Venge in Asus.Polar's hand is a really nice counter to the Bat Rider. It kind of forces MVP Phoenix, if they want to pick up with the Bat Lasso, they almost have to commit a global silence when they go in.
You can tell there's going to be a lot of focus fire. Batrider jumps in, gets a setup to bring them back. Lion will be right there with the stun, with the finger, so that whoever they get a hold of, they got to eliminate them, eradicate them before they even have the chance to do anything. But if that doesn't go according to plan, you're going to be in a bit of a pickle.
Yep.
You're now going to then allow Asus.Polar to go into a good counter initiation, which we know they could do very well. Hell, they did it a lot last game. It just seemed too easy almost to bait MVP Phoenix into a situation where they thought they were going to have the upper hand, and the next thing you know, they just turn around and walk away with a 5-man wipe.
Well, we'll see what Asus.Polar look to get with their 4th pick here. Is some question as to where the mag goes. Does he go mid? Does he go off lane? Spirit Breaker. We get the Space Cow.
It's been a while, but there it is. Okay. So as far as where he's going to work in this lineup, more than likely looking like Phobos' grab and where he might decide to take it. Could potentially be just the off-lane Spirit Breaker, something I know like IX Mike has been playing a lot frequently. That global presence, just the mind games alone, that Spirit Breaker, he's not on the map. Where is he? Is he going to be charging in any moment? It's definitely something that works to the advantage of the Polar side, but a good grab for him.
They've got a lot to go through, like a BKB TP, or BKBs in general. Like the Magic Community of a Juggernaut, of a BKB hero. You've got the Spirit Breaker ultimate, you've got the Venge Swap, you've got the RP. So no relying on like a Blade Fury TP out from like some kind of a split push focused Juggernaut of any sort here.
Off-lane Spirit Breaker can be zoned out pretty hard and have a bit of a difficult laning phase, given that he can always just charge the hell out of there to get away. If they're able to zone him back, Silencer is something that could do very good against Spirit Breaker. It's not, I guess if he just hits the simple, what is it, the stomping ground right here? I feel terrible for not really knowing it. The Empowering Haste. Do we know if that eliminates the curse?
I don't think it would, but I'm not sure.
So if it doesn't, that could be a bit difficult for him going against something like a Silencer, and he could get zoned back pretty easy just from the glaives themselves. So we'll have to see if that's something to look to focus him out. But then again, this could always just be like a 4-position Spirit Breaker. We'll have to see. It's been quite a while since I've seen Polar pick it up.
The Dazzle Band coming in, another kind of Polar preferred support option. So see what they get. Ancient Apparition still available if you want something which can negate possibly some healing ward and just help you secure some of these kills in a fight.
Empire had gone for the Omni Knight, which was a surprise to see, and something that's still in the pool and available, and could certainly help them out getting that free bit of repel. Would allow Magnus to kind of go in uncontested and would help against that global, too.
I want a Warlock. I want the MVP Phoenix Warlock here. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen. It's just like you're going to go out after such a one-sided game one. You just go for like your pocket strats here. I mean, it's a pocket strat that teams know MVP have, so I don't feel like you're revealing too much, but the Warlock mid, which has worked out in the past for MVP Phoenix, could be something they go for. But
the Ember Spirit. I think this is the first Ember of the LAN.
Yeah.
So very elusive, obviously. Looking to farm up a high ceiling for the late game. Oh, man. Asus.Polar, man, they have been researching a lot of the Na'Vi lately, it looks like. A lot of Magnus now. The Abaddon going to be picked up here for FNG. You're going to take away my Dazzle, I'll get another great babysitting support. That just seems to be FNG's kind of style. And it continues here with that grab.
Yeah, I wonder if they are going to be going for like the dual lane type setup, or if this is going to be something else. Because I feel like the Spirit Breaker dual lane is a bit of an awkward dual lane. It's not like the Weaver, the Clinks, where you're still actually leeching some out of that.
According to a pretty recent forum thread, the Empowering Haste does actually dispel Curse of the Silent.
Okay, so that's good. That works to the benefit.
And also Last Word it would proc then, I guess, or?
I would assume so. Okay. We'll see. That was in October, so it could have been patched since then, but at least used to work that way.
Nice. So that's good. That's a good thing to have when you're going against something as annoying as a Silencer if you're a Spirit Breaker. And maybe part of the reason they picked it up in the first place. So we'll see here. Very different lineup coming out here from MVP Phoenix. Game one was, well, devastating for them and for the MVP fan base. And for Asus.Polar, they've got to be feeling very confident coming into game number 2. It's match point now. MVP trying to take this to a game number 3. If they do drop this game, they're not eliminated. They'll just be pushed down that lower bracket, but we'll see here. Leading things off, Radiant side, it's going to be Asus.Polar. And Mag, once again, going to be repreing his role on the Mag. Very, very easy grab right there. Lil is going to be playing your support Vengeful Spirit heading towards this bottom rune area. Illidan's going to be playing his Slark. Top lane, we got DK Phobos, who's going to be playing that Spirit Breaker. And also FNG, going to be playing that Abaddon. And Na'Vi did run the dual off lane with the Abaddon. Maybe a trend that Asus.Polar will just continue to use for themselves as well.
Yep. On the dire side, we are going to see the Silencer being played by Heen for MVP. In the bottom lane, it will be the Juggernaut of March. Oh, sorry, in the top lane currently, the spectator view. Trying to get all fancy with these intros. I'm like, which lane is this? It looks like the bottom lane. Nope, it's not. We've got QO on the Ember Spirit, Reason on the Lion, and then finally it's going to be Forev on the offlane Batrider. As here we go, fight for the bounty runes. How does this go down? Abaddon, you can't really kill these Asus.Polar heroes, but the question is, can they? You don't want to get screwed on a cliff. That's the big do not let happen thing. But
the battle
doesn't look like we're going to see any demon-like plays coming out from Mag.
QO will be able to snag that one up, and Illidan gets his own bounty there on the bottom. So each team will trade a rune 1 for 1, and now we'll get to see the proper dispersion. Obviously, it's going to be Batrider working in that solo off lane here. And going against the dual lane, Batrider should be okay. He should be able to at least stick in with the XP zone. Might be zoned back a little bit from Lil's Vengeful Spirit, but he can always work and fly on the side to kind of contest those pull camps and find some additional farmer XP that way. And in the top lane, and I imagine they were hoping to bully back the offlaner with FNG nearby, it's just not going to be as easy. And they could look to even break even here if they want.
Yep. Lil already going with the wave of Terra first. He's going to look to zone Forev completely out of this lane if possible. Can't really trade hits with the minus armor on your Batrider, and this is where Forev is going to have a rough time down here.
Looks like mid lane Mag had a really nice block or something, because the creep wave is already up on his side, and he gets to work with a little bit of the under tower pressure, but he's finding his CS right now. Because going against an Ember Spirit here in the mid lane, how do you feel about the matchup between a Magnus and an Ember Spirit?
I think it's pretty even in general. I think Ember Spirit, once we see level 6s happen, that's where a support rotation for the Ember Spirit could lead to some kind, I mean, for either team could lead to a kill. So I think it's going to come down to the supports more than the actual matchup. I think the mid matchup is very even between the two.
Not to see, like, who is going to be the one to rotate around. It's not like your Silencer is looking to get in on the ganking action. He's just going to kind of park himself here, be a bit of a nuisance trying to zone back and annoy, but just leech XP. He can't really go on a ganking kind of a mission. Vengeful Spirit certainly could for the side of Polar if they so choose, but for now just trying to help out Illidan. And once he gets a couple of levels underway, he would be very elusive and hard to take down as a Slark.
All right, well, 2-minute runes coming up, and FNG already going to rotate for the top one. Does leave Phobos alone. This is one of those times where if you want to strike, now is a better time than any, but we're going to see a bounty rune up top, illusion down bottom, and seems the top rune going to be left for Mag on his Magnus. So pretty safe and standard start. Both teams going with the dual lanes, though. And it did look like Reason on his line was a bit of a lost boy to start things off. He was starting off in the dire jungle. He ended up deciding to rotate bottom, but this Lion, as like a dual lane type hero, is a hero you kind of want to be getting some farm to when possible and also getting XP on, so the dual lane helps there, but I do worry that he may get not enough out of this off lane to get the level 6 timing he wants, as well as the blink timing that he wants as well.
It's no surprise up here in the top lane, FNG does have that TP scroll always at the ready. Just in case something was to break out elsewhere, he can quickly show up on the scene and be there with the aid like your medic. And he'll be able to step back and just watch Phobos be able to farm it on up and be fine. And yeah, Reason does have a smoke on hand, but waiting a bit before he even thinks about making any sort of rotation plays. Just wants to help out this Batrider a bit. So
mid lane, there's a Skewer back in the tower. QO lost his Flame Guard as well. This is looking like a solo kill from Mag. Well played. Look, QO went in on him with the Searing Chains that I heard, but the gank got turned around very quickly by Mag. I think QO thought, like, you can screw me into your tower, but as long as... I don't think he calculated for the Flame Guard being taken out by the nuke damage.
Well, very convenient there for Asus.Polar and Mag. Now he's got plenty of lane to work with. Hyo has got to quickly rush himself back to get into the mix. And now you can see, look at this, the rotation bottom lane. Lil's trying to do a bit of a side pull, but they're right there to at least soak up a bit of that XP. And this is going to be a double wave now, it looks like, because of that single pull. So if they wanted an opportunity to get this wave pushed where they can easily farm it up, it should be coming soon.
Yeah, I don't think Asus.Polar have any way of trying to pressure the tower with this Slark dual lane coming in. So right now they're looking to secure runes, and there's nothing they can do to stop Venge getting the bottom rune, top rune going Magnus's way, and this is where things start to swing as far as the lane stage is concerned a little in the Asus.Polar favor. They're getting complete room control. They can't really, MVP can't really rotate their top lane heroes because the Spirit Breaker, Abaddon are putting too much pressure on the lane, and Well, the lanes in general, just a bit of a concern for MVP Phoenix.
All right, Vengeful Spirit rotating towards the mid lane. Mag's pretty low. If he can bait Ember into another tricky situation, the Vengeful could rotate all the way through. Oh, RP? Was it canceled by Chain or he canceled himself? Oh, well.
Wow, that's
not the bait you want to be doing, I guess, if you're trying to bait. He just gets manhandled right there from QO.
That was really sick play as well. Bottom lane, Slark gets a solo kill on the Lion, who's got kind of left down here by himself as top lane a bit of harass being exchanged. And that was a sick play from QO. He cancelled the RP cast with the Searing Chains, and then he got far enough back that even if he hit him with the RP still, he wasn't going to do enough damage or really kill him off. So the triple Remnant as well, a ballsy play to make, but really important solo kill as well.
Yeah, definitely needed that after the Flame Guard incident just prior. And he'll be right back into the mix here. Lil's going to take the time to farm up this solo mid lane a bit and get a few more levels, preferably into that Wave of Terror.
Dire's bottom tower is under
1-2-1 build so far from the Vengeful Spirit. All right. So it evens things up a bit here with that kill on QO, and it does feel like Illidan Slark not completely free farming out of control. He is on par with the Juggernaut, and neither of those two heroes getting free farm with the dual lanes coming out from both teams.
And now Batrider will take himself to the jungle. There's a couple of stacks here to work with, but here we go mid lane. They're breaking out. They're making it go for Mag. The stun. CC's there. RP. Kivo's going to be locked in place. Very low. Shockwave flies out.
Okay. Didn't go for the Skewer into the tower. I guess he was worried about the Flame Guard damage. The Skewer would not have broken the Flame Guard. It's a max level Flame Guard, so heads up play from Mag not to go for the Skewer, which could have probably ended up with him getting killed.
So as they continue to trade, Illidan will have the space now to catch up on the CS there in the bottom lane as Batrider works in that jungle, making more stacks for himself, trying to get that Blink Dagger very quickly. So MVP could look to really go on the assault here into the mid game. Top lane DK Phobos, the Spirit Breaker, just really patiently farming up and getting some levels. And Rise was about to say not really charging on anyone. He's going right for Heen. Shield is there. He steps back briefly. And Heen's able to walk away. He does get some nice damage in onto March as well and will pull back. But we haven't seen Phobos yet really venture out from this lane. Maybe waiting till he at least gets that level 6 underway.
Oh, it's bottom lane. Ember Spirit rotates bottom, kills off the Slark, and nice little QO's making some big plays to keep MVP in the early game. That play top though, Phobos getting the healing ward really hurt this MVP top lane. Silencer was relying on that heal maybe to stay in the lane. Similar story for the Jug, who's actually kind of low on HP as well, so makes things a bit difficult here for MVP.
And with that grab, QO grabs his Bracer and he's going right for the drums. Typical, more cookie cutter kind of Ember Spirit. Maybe not blitzing right for any sort of early makings of a Battle Fury, but gotta start with the base.
All right, well, Ember thinking about maybe an initiation on this mid lane. If they can get a Hex Impale off, it is possible, but he's just going to show himself and go back to farming for now.
Reason drops down a nice ward on the ancient camp side here for Asus, and he's scouting out the mid lane.
It's a nice ward, but it was spotted, so it should be an easy D-ward for the Polar side.
And Mag obviously sees him up there. Maybe they're looking to go onto him instead. The charge is out, but Reason does pull back. So not going to be an easy grab. It's the first time we saw DK now, or DK Phobos, venture away from that top lane, but going to be coming up short.
Yeah, bottom lane being pressured and pushed now. Illidan has the max Dark Pack, so he can push out waves pretty fast, but with the Batrider TP, and Batrider at level 6, almost level 7 now, is getting a decent amount of farm here. For just 8 minutes into the game, he's got a lot out of the off lane, as well as most of this out of the jungle, of course.
Well, here we go. There's the sheep. There's the chains. Mag in big trouble here. Nice timing with the stun. There it is going to be the Skewer back. Shield, RP, but QO soaks up a lot of it there with his Flame Guard. But here comes DK Phobos, and they just turn it right back around. QO gets dropped.
They were ready for it. And nice little gank there. Well, counter gank coming out of the Asus.Polar side, keeping Mag alive. And they've kept this line mid lane for a while, kind of trying to make that play, but Asus.Polar don't put them in a position to get initiate on until they're ready to actually get the counter kill.
Tower is under attack.
It feels like they needed the level 6 line if they want to make that happen. And they've been giving Lion some solo XP mid while QO ganks, but I feel like they need to keep doing that until he is level 6.
Yeah, and it's not looking like he's going to be blitzing forward for a Blink Dagger anytime soon. So with a very, very low amount of gold here. And Silencer as well, not a lot of farm, but they're making it go potentially top lane. Mag is going to be silenced up.
Bottom lane, meanwhile, QO's going for another gank. We'll bring down Illidan again. These solo kills on the Slark. He just shows up, and Slark's one of those series, even with ultimate, it's so hard to get away from someone like an Ember Spirit. He's got the chase, the gap close with the Fire Remnant, and does so much damage with the Flame Guard.
He's really doing a number, being able to go down there and get these hits in. Good grab for him. Illidan gets dropped. Even when he has all that time to farm up on his own, somehow, some way, KotLGuY just kind of shows up, rains on his parade, and steps away and goes elsewhere.
Yeah, I think it's a big worry for Asus.Polar. They've given this Slack a decent amount of space, but twice he's just died to this solo rotation from KotLGuY. Like, MVP have completely ditched the offlane. Forever's been jungling, trying to get his Blink Dagger up, and it's just been the Ember Spirit who's been making the space for this team. All 3 kills have been picked up from this Ember Spirit. All 3 of those kills, solo kills as well. The solo kill mid and 2 solo kills on the Slack. So his team, he's probably telling his team, like, guys, I've done my job now. You guys have to start pulling your weight soon.
Well, I imagine Forever is looking to do so. He just picks up his Blink Dagger now. Doesn't have enough for the smoke, but...
It's probably like begging a support or someone. Yeah, like, come on, someone buy a smoke.
Someone hook a brother up with a smoke, please? And then he can look to try to get that quota. Quick grab in. We'll step out now. No smoke for him, but we'll see if he can go for that quota of getting that quick kill in.
I think he may meet up with the Lion. Lion gets level 6 from 1 creep XP. Here comes the charge in Spirit Breaker, though. He just wants this level 6. Then he's backing off. He's not going to get it, though. Oh, he gets level 6, but he's not going to get a chance to use it.
The charging friends right here. Skewer forward, charge shows up, and the Lion gets slain.
Radiant's top
team on tower being pressured, and once again, KotLGuY on the hunt for this Slark at bottom, but...
Here comes another charge. March does have his Omni, but here comes Phobos. Bumps him back. Rotation to come. FNG also here. Another bash is there, and now he's trying to spin the hell out of here. Wave catches out on him. Can he get himself away, though? Nope, he certainly can't. FNG, the long-range nuke, going to take him down.
That RNG bash was pretty ridiculous, I gotta say. He gets the bash, the stun from the charge, and then gets an insta bash afterwards.
Double chain, curses there. They charge back, but that was... Oh, a swap is going to save DK Phobos for now, and Lil sacrifices himself to save his Phobos friend.
And charging forward, he wants Abaddon. Abaddon does not have level 6 just yet. Gets the searing chains on Phobos as well. This KotLGuY Ember Spirit is going ham, going hard in the paint. He wants Phobos once more, and looks like he should be able to get him. The Flame Guard damage still taking Slider Fist kill on the high ground. KotLGuY on the Ember Spirit is making a lot of space and making big plays for his team.
Mag also coming on through, trying to cut off Reason. Shockwave Skewer back, takes him down. But for Evan KotLGuY looking to heal on up, even uses the RP, has him right under the tower, and gets the kill right there. Mag returns with his own double kill for Asus.Polar. Very action-packed game here, 7-6. And obviously not as one-sided in game number 1. MVP coming out with a lot more fight, but the Asus.Polar squad are right there to answer.
The 2 solo mid players are really getting aggressive and active on the map. The Mag, as well as this Ember Spirit, just all over the place, trying to make plays happen. Drum's now complete for KotLGuY, so he's going to have even more chasing potential in these constant engagements that we're seeing happen. Bottom lane, tier 1, denied by Heen. Nice play there.
Nice deny. Illidan got his Midas as well. So a bit more greedy, going a bit more for the mid game. And mid lane, charge out. March swaps there. They bully around this jug. He's caught between 3, trying to spin out and away. FNG, body block, body block, body block. Going for the right clicks. Boom, in your face. They get it done. FNG picks up his kill, and they take down the jug again. KotLGuY, though, pops out. Hi, how you doing right there? Borrow time going to be popped immediately. And now a charge flies on through. Gets off the Slide of Fist. Blink in. Lasso going to catch on Mag. KotLGuY trying to make work. He has to remnant on out of here. And he's second-guessing this one. FNG very low with no more borrow time. Could drop with one more right-click. Shockwave is going to be catching on out, and now Forever has to walk away. MVP come up short, trying to get redemption for their fallen comrade in the Juggernaut.
Ember Spirit did leave a Fire Remnant behind to come back in here, so we'll see what he can do. For the most part, these heroes have backed off. He will find the Spirit Breaker with an Impale. Possible kill coming up. Phobos waits this out, could go for a charge now, and
swap, not needed.
He's looking to fight. He wants kills. He doesn't want to get out of there. The Flame Guard now going to bring down the Spirit Breaker, possibly more. KotLGuY. What's the answer to this Ember Spirit? Oh my gosh, somebody stop KotLGuY. He's still got the Flame Guard up. He's still doing damage. Oh.
Illidan's here to answer the call.
Okay,
he moves in with the Pouse, and they do
get it.
About time. Look at these mid laners duke it out right here. This is a clinic between both of them. Mag and KotLGuY, man. What an exhibition.
Yeah, I mean, top of the net worth chart, the 2 mid plays. You think your Slack, your Jug, your free farmers are the ones
it doesn't stop. Quick RP mid lane. Don't even look away for a second. Slaughters another. Mag with a double kill again. He is 5-1.
these mid players playing out of their minds, but then you look at, they're creating space for the Slark and the Jug, and right now Slark's seeing a lot more from this. Jug's died multiple times, hasn't been able to find any good plays with his Omni Slash, whereas Slark, he's died a couple times, but he helped get that Ember Spirit kill just then. He's getting a bit more fun than the Jug in general, pushing down towers, so it does feel like Asus.Polar getting a bit more out of these exchanges, despite how well KotLGuY is playing.
Yeah, and KotLGuY is just but one man. Not looking to try to put the whole team on his back, hoping that March throw together some farm and look to help take it into the long road. Though I suppose if you have to help out, an Ember Spirit certainly does have a very high ceiling to work with.
Yep.
But
Get the tower here off to the side. Illidan's going to be careful.
Pulls away. I was going to say the same thing for March. There's the pounce. They catch on. Immediate Hex is going to be there. Bopping all over the place as the Flame Blade flies on out. Reason's still fine. They get the lasso, but he immediately takes it off with the Pact, and they take out that Lion. But it doesn't stop there. March moves on through. It's going to be the Sleight of Fist coming through from KotLGuY. Bat Rider going to be dropped. DK Phobos very low. Bursted. He gets marched up to the high ground, and March goes down. 3 for 1 right now. KotLGuY not letting up once. Illidan moving on forward. The chains are going to connect. He's good for now. Mag trying to skewer away. They still able to take down Illidan. Now they turn back. Lil could be in trouble. KotLGuY still okay.
Stop. There's no borrowed time now as well. He's gonna. Is he gonna get FNG? Not with the Searing Chains being shielded off, but KotLGuY just one-man show right now. 9-3-1. He's been every single kill of this MVP team, and again gonna finally like run out of options. He's like, where are my teammates at? I'm doing all I can. For Christ's sake. Oh, what an Ember Spirit performance. This is as good as it gets from an Ember Spirit.
Certainly so, but he is but one Ember Spirit here. Forev needs to take this time. It's getting a bit hot and heavy for both these teams. They need to step back, itemize a bit more, so that when they get into these skirmishes, they can offer a bit more. But bottom lane, the charge, flying on that, but Lion immediately pulls out the retreat. He's going to be fine, but Illidan with that Midas, he will continue to just build up farm over and over and over again.
Yep, going to be going for that Illidan classic Shadow Blade. He loves to just get this thing, get aggressive, roam through the enemy jungle constantly, looking for pickoffs. Heroes like Silencer, who you think Silence is pretty good against Slark, but when Slark's just solo hunting, you can't really use that Silence defensively. If he ever finds you with a Shadow Blade initiation, you're instantly dead. So it's very hard to play against a Shadow Blade Slark as a Silencer.
Right now, March going to be working this double stack, looking to farm on up. He does have his Mask of Madness and his Phase Boots together, going with the 1-2-4 for right now. So other Jugs like to build up stats early on. And March going for more of the intense DPS. Right-click kind of a build, putting up a lot in the Blade Dance here. They come together, they smoke on up, and they're going to go right into enemy territory here, but they could cross paths with FNG, who's also smoked up. Nope. No, they're going right for Roche.
Okay. FNG may go look to scout this one out, and with Venge coming in as well, this Wave of Terror is going to come at the perfect time. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, imagine that, Solar.
Oh, here we go. It's time to clash. Sleight of Fist flies out. March already very, very, very low. Trying to spin and run away from this one. He is going to be fine for now. KotLGuY on the other side. Heen is going to be dropped, though, from Illidan. That's going to be the first casualty here. Oh, no, the RP! Oh. Not going to catch. Mag off the mark on that one. Illidan goes to the high ground to get away. KotLGuY also going to be focused down. Skewered and bashed and taken home. Dropped right there. Now Phobos steps back, looks to re-engage. Reason jumps forward, tries to burst down Lil, hands over his own life, and ends up being a 3-for-1 trade. And Asus.Polar come out big on that. Think about making a go into Roche, but will second guess and pull away.
It's the second global silence in a row where they didn't get any kills during it. If you're using this global, you need to coordinate it with like a lasso or some kind of initiation. It feels like both that global silence and the previous one just used, and Asus.Polar back off. No one gets initiated, no one gets disabled, no one gets caught by a Searing Chains or a lasso, and no one dies during it. So these global silences just not really getting much done. It's a really hard spell to time because Asus.Polar have such a good lineup to get out of there as far as just backing off, but they need to get that lasso and then immediately just global silence. Get a lasso on the Magnus ideally, and you can't shield it off with the global silence. You global just to secure that mag kill, or the Slark kill, or this, whatever it may be. The Spirit Breaker also a good option, but any of those 3 core heroes have to die during that global silence.
And you can see Mag looking to put together the farm to finish out that BKB. Wouldn't prevent the lasso, but certainly would help against that global, allowing him to get off the big RP. Hopefully on the target, but now move up to the top, bottle up that sweet little regen, and also the Spirit Breaker DK Phobos building up and got the Vlads here. Charging
on
out
E.
right now. You see Illidan. You talk about him putting to use that Shadow Blade. Gets a nice kill right there, and they don't stop. They're going right for Reason. Nether Strike going to be canceled from the chains. QO's here to save his ally, and now puts the pressure onto Phobos. Phobos needs 4 more seconds for a secondary charge, but here comes FNG and company. Illidan also here. The 3 versus 2. Mag's looking to come as well here. FNG still alive. The borrowed time will going to be triggered. DK Phobos says, I'm out of here. Charges on home, but QO once more moves forward. FNG with no more borrowed time could drop. Lasso going to catch on Mag. They're going to look to get them both, and they will. A 2-for-1 trade right there after taking down that silencer, and they are still on the hunt. Blinking forward, they're going to look to slowly wither down Lil.
Here comes Big Bad Ember Spirit in a few seconds. Got another Fire Remnant soon, and nothing Illidan can do to save his buddy Lil. 4 for nothing there in the end. I believe Spirit Breaker died at the start, or maybe it was just a 3 for nothing. Okay, 3 for nothing, but big
Silencer
fight.
did go down earlier, but
Radiant's bottom tower.
QO again just doing everything himself, it feels like. That was another fight where his mobility, his timing on all his spells doesn't miss his Searing Chains. He hits Searing Chains from Sleight of Fist, from Fire Remnants, gets maximum damage out of the Fire Remnants. One of the few Ember Spirit players you actually see leveling up Fire Remnant. He had that level 2 and actually is making use of this extra damage that he's getting out of it. It's a small amount, but considering how well he's been using it, I don't blame him.
And now he throws together his Battle Fury. So these fights that seem to be so congested, that extra bit of cleave certainly will help and obviously will accelerate his farm, given if he wants to push forward and getting that crit, and a huge right click. Mid lane Illidan does take down that tier 1 and immediately heads on out. And charge. They got to be careful. Forev's right behind, and so is QO. Now looking to come in, but they are committed. Global is going to be popped, and now they're looking to make the turn. DK Phobos does go on to Reason here. Illidan trying to make a go onto Forev. DK Phobos going to get hit with that finger. He's trying to walk out. He's still good. Will get taken down. Mag jumps in. Big RP. They trade now 2-for-1. Illidan moves on forward. Big blast going to be the better. QO is the one walking away, taking down the Vengeful Spirit. Now looking to move on forward. Mag chained up and now assaulted. A double kill again for QO.
Not much Illidan can do from this Shadow Blade as well. QO with his Battle Fury timing is just balling out of control. 13, 4, and 4, all 17 kills.
Heen taken down. Illidan easily sneaks up behind him and gets that creepy little kill right there. But uh-oh.
Wondering where his Ember Spirit went, perhaps. But, QO had been making his way down towards that bottom rune, hoping to pick something up, although he's now just up top lane farming. Another 2k gold already accumulated for QO.
A lot more fight for sure in this game number 2 from MVP Phoenix. Knowing that it's already match point for Asus.Polar, and they do not want to be pushed down that lower bracket so easily, like we've already seen today. So many clean sweeps. MVP trying to break that trend.
Right now, D-Ward around Roshan would be fantastic if they could actually get an Aegis on their hands. With all the fighting going on, having an Aegis on QO would just be complete control of the game for that 6-minute duration. That's what you're kind of hoping for right now, if you can get that. But it's going to be tough. And this is where Asus.Polar know that. Getting an Aegis on this Ember Spirit would be a huge problem. They're trying to get here in time, but this is going to be tight. I don't know if they're getting here. They also don't have RP for 15 seconds.
They see him. They see him with the Sentry. Illidan could be in trouble. But he Dark Packs off that lasso immediately. Swap, and now they're looking to engage. QO sends out the Sleight of Fist. FNG going to be very low. Illidan gets the quick solo takedown right there, dropping the silencer. And at the same moment, they rip apart DK Phobos. Now QO and MVP and company looking to bully back Asus.Polar. RP on the return, though. Skewers them all the way back in a Sleight of Fist return. It's a slaughter coming out.
No, QO's going to turn it around. Oh my god, the Sleight of Fist on Mag is not going to bring him down. He's got a Searing Chains, another Sleight of Fist in 2 seconds. That triple Fire Remnant doing massive damage. March is still stuck on the cliff, by the way. He Omni-slashed his way up here and got himself a bit stuck. I think they actually lassoed the Spirit Breaker onto the high ground, and then, or maybe, I don't know if it was that or the Spirit Breaker ultimate pushing him up there, but it was, I would say in the end, a good fight for MVP. Again, QO getting massive. If they don't kill this Ember Spirit, MVP just somehow annihilate Asus.Polar. What a player QO is proven to be on this Ember Spirit.
This game is so explosive.
He's level 18. He's so far ahead of everyone in this game.
Just when you think a fight is going one way, it just quickly goes dramatically the other. Mag makes that return counter, jump in RP, and you think all of a sudden Asus.Polar are going to be coming out on top, and then what the burst
You
that
got to
KotLGuY
finish
brings
Road
out.
Slark's dead. There's no RP. I'm surprised MVP aren't in there already, but they've got the Fire Remnant. March is in there working on it. And Asus.Polar are not in the position to contest this. This is a big pickup for the MVP side. This gives them a very big strategic edge, I feel. They're behind on net worth right now. They're kind of getting out-farmed, but they're not going to get out-team fought now with KotLGuY having an Aegis. He can play even more aggressive.
Oh, man. The aggression continues. They smoke up immediately and blitz right towards this mid lane.
They are being circled. It seems that either the smoke was spotted or Asus.Polar just are like, this is exactly where they are. We know what's coming our way.
Yeah, they all retreat immediately to the top lane. They get the trade and take a tier 1, but MVP still very confident. Look at this. They're flanking all the way around and coming in from behind.
And Silencer, they see him mid. They may think they're not coming, but he's just going to global from wherever he is.
Lil's there. March jumps on forward. They're looking to burst down this Vengeful Spirit immediately. Mag, another RP, does catch on 2. And Phobos is there. Skewers him back and on forward. Forev jumps in, gets DK Phobos with the lasso. Lil going to be very low, is going to be bursted apart. And now Illidan looking to clean house 2. Drop another KotLGuY double kill. He's very low, however. Forev going to be dropped, and now KotLGuY trying to go on the retreat. Doesn't want to drop this Aegis too quick in the middle.
When the fight's lost, there's no point just throwing away the Aegis here. And everyone's kind of too healthy for him to get any more kills off of this. The Urn Charge is going to keep the Spirit Breaker alive. And it was a good global, but again, once that RP's off, that was such a sick RP again coming from the Magnet.
He's charging forward, but obviously KotLGuY very elusive. They actually just change over, go for Heen. The pounce is there, and it's just a nice little grab on the Silencer. Poor little Silencer just trying to walk his way home. That is not the alleyway you want to go down.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Not the fight MVP were hoping for. A 4-for-2 trade in the end, and they've still got the Aegis, so it still feels like they should be able to fight well around this. And KotLGuY with a Daedalus, 25-minute Daedalus Battle Fury. This is going to be the fastest I've ever seen these 2 items picked up on an Ember Spirit.
And
he even got a drums along the way, although it does look like he's sold his drums now.
Definitely the KotLGuY show right now, and Asus.Polar, though, still very composed. Last couple of fights swinging for MVP, but that one certainly brings Polar right back. And we'll see how much KotLGuY can get done for now, while also they're trying to get March to match him on that farm.
Yeah. March got a pretty good Omni Slash off last fight, but he took so much damage during the RP. The good news was the Global Silence saved him from dying during the RP, but as soon as the Omni Slash ended, he was just food.
Looked like Illidan was going to go on top lane, just pounces instead to keep the lane pressured, it looks like.
Illidan's farm too. He's actually right up there with the Ember Spirit after these last couple of good fights. I mean,
suddenly a Scotty.
Yeah. You know? Like KotLGuY's 17-4, much more impressive than the 8-4-9 Slark, but Illidan's got the farm to match it.
Absolutely. Look at this, another go. MVP are going to smoke up, and they could catch out FNG here, who does have borrowed time.
That looks like a dead Batrider here in the back line. Slark going to find the solo pickoff, and KotLGuY elsewhere on the map is not really finding all too much. He's going to get the Searing Chains on FNG, which is an easy shield off, and they've been really trying to use this Aegis.
Swap Omni, solo pick right there for March. Takes down the Vengeful Spirit, very nicely done, and now
he's got a big RP lined up.
Burst forward here, Illidan under the Shadow Blade. FNG going to be hunted with his borrowed time down. He's barely alive. The global going to be popped as Illidan making the go onto March. KotLGuY is still trying to get him. Does eventually finish him off, but RP skewer, and they blow up the rest of the team. KotLGuY comes back and he's like, where's my friends? Where's my family? I'm all alone. And now they're going to quickly burst down that first life. Second life. Will they quickly take him out? There's going to be a cleave. He's remnanting it, trying to get to the high ground to walk away. Chains will lock down 2 of them, but he's so slow with no more remnant to work with. It looks like it's going to be a full 5-man takedown. Can he get anyone? He cannot. Asus.Polar, back-to-back big fights for them.
That was the godlike streak as well. Slark gets a buttload of gold out of that. Oh, that hurts the Ember Spirit. He was... That's a tough spot to be in after that.
Definitely a buttload.
He's doing all he can, KotLGuY, but... It's tough.
Wow. It's a bit uncertain. Illidan with that great pick at the start of everything.
And he's going to find another one, maybe. For this Observer deep in the enemy jungle, this is kind of like a Polar special. They get these deep wards, have Illidan on the Shadow Blade Slark, and he just goes roaming for kills.
He wants March. The charge is going to be there. He jumps in. There's the pounce. Immediate Blade Fury. And TP was on cooldown. He's still charged. Phobos is coming. Will pull off last second. Maybe he's still in the dark.
Dire's middle
Shadow Blade through. He sees everything right now. He'd love to get in on the silencer or something. Even the Batrider, very squishy. Has a 4-star, but won't get to use it.
Man. Illidan showing that he's also grade A. Moving in and now looking to bully back March. Here comes Phobos. Charging in.
They need QO. Where's QO? He's the only one who stands a chance against his Polar side. And he's going high ground. Illidan isn't done. He wants Heen. And he's getting juked around the trees.
Oh, boy.
Ring around to Rosie.
Heen is desperate right now.
Illidan.
Oh, stuns there. He's okay for now, but Phobos is like, we can get both of them if we want it. But QO's back from the dead. Can he make them pay?
Oh, he gets to the low ground. The Abaddon keeping him alive as well. And with that, MVP going to lose another 3 for nil.
Oh, man. That's 3 straight fights that Polar come out on top. Like a period where MVP, it was their game. QO was just definitely the commander leading the charge for his team, but now just seems a bit overwhelming at this point. Illidan just got so much, that huge bounty, and continues to get pick after pick after pick. He has 2.6k gold, and he's already breaking high ground here at the top lane.
He's also got a Basher coming out, so items galore for this Slack, who doesn't seem to have a counter at this point.
Chains, he just simply packs it off, pounces away, and he'll be fine. But they're looking to fight here. Mag's got his RP, level 3 in Blink at the ready, plus his BKB, and I say that, and then they pull away. Playing it a little safe for now.
MVP, I feel like they need to go for some kind of a smoke at this stage and try catch out someone like Illidan with a Blink Hex or whatever it may be. Lions still no Blink Dagger. That is one of the biggest issues right now for MVP. If they had a Blink, they could try and jump him, but even then, Abaddon is generally there with that Aphotic Shield.
Both their supports are so poor. Silencer, not even a 2k net worth yet. And now it's just gonna, the struggle keeps happening here. Illidan kills Forev instantly. They drop the sentry, but oh my goodness. Yeah, it doesn't stop. Mag, RP onto 2. Pushes him back. Illidan looking to clear out the rest with the help of that cleave and the empower. Desperation Omni coming out and the cleave, but it doesn't matter. Just like that for MVP. Drop.
Well, still QO versus the world. 23 of their 24 kills has been this Ember Spirit.
And if you look at the net worth, you could just see how quickly things have escalated.
They were holding their own, but Ember Spirit at some point, the better farm distribution and just the more well-rounded lineup of Asus.Polar is delivering the goods.
Charge swap back. QO now. The lone survivor. Wow, pretty good cleave damage right there, I have to say, with the Sleight of Fist, but their Rex going to be dropping here with Illidan. Bring in the right click. The first real base damage is going to come in favor of Asus.Polar. QO just desperate. He's trying his best to bring this game back for MVP, and now he's going to get caught with the pounce. Remnant back, going to be fine for now. Forev, another takedown for this Batrider. Hasn't been able to get a lasso off in who knows how long, and just dropped. They keep finding these kills and picks, and Illidan with a triple kill. I think at this point he is just way too big, way too beefy. 6k gold, 19-4. Unbelievable stuff from Illidan in game number 1 and game number 2. It's looking a lot like the same.
Yeah, I think we've almost reached that point of no return now for MVP. Losing a lane of Rack, there's no real clear comeback plan, no good answer to the Slark. And the problem is Asus.Polar, towards the end they're getting the racks, just have the Slark sieging the racks. Ember can do all he wants to keep on chipping away, but there's no creep wave to cleave off. He can maybe get a single target dataless crit, but he can't even hit multiple heroes with a Sleight of Fist without putting himself in harm's way. He doesn't want to get too close. So
Illidan finds March, who'd been standing there. Abyssal Blade stun, and your jug is gone, and that's supposed to be your core pullback for MVP, and he just, it's quick work for Illidan.
Yeah, this is looking like the end here. Another 2-0 in store for us as Illidan is going to keep on going.
Here comes Phobos.
That global will slow him down a little bit, but you're not getting killed. Again, these defensive globals are not... If you're not getting any kills in global silence, there's a problem.
Man, oh man. Taking down that tier 2. Now they look to bully this mid lane.
QO needs a rapier. That's all I can think of right now for MVP to turn this game around. And
yep.
He hasn't got the money for it. The game-ending push probably going to come soon. Maybe we see them wait for Roshan, which looks like Asus are pinging out. QO's looking to force TPs, but decides he's maybe overstayed.
That's the safest thing to do for Asus. Wait it out, get the Roche, have that extra life, then you go in and go for the critical blow. And MVP, what could be your all-or-nothing, last-ditch defensive effort here. And uh-oh, the sleight of fist chains pulled out from QO. There's a lasso, but the immediate swap is going to be fine. Oh, Mag moving on forward. RP on one.
Got the
Sheeped
Hex,
up.
though. No Skewer back, and Mag in trouble. He's going to die to the Omni Slash. Decent start to the fight. MVP still everyone full HP. Healing Ward in the perfect position, and they're going to get FNG, it looks like.
All right, so they do get two. Asus.Polar, they play it very patiently.
That
the rest
Hex
of them.
from Reason on the Magnus, preventing the Skewer, was the clutch play there. Illidan, though, wants QO. And, oh, he doesn't finish him off in time. He gave up.
Uh-oh. Now Illidan in trouble. March moves, gets the crit, gets the crit. Illidan? They could. He has a bounty on his head. Finger, still fine. Chains are going to connect here, and they get him down. That's 887 extra gold for March.
It's still some hope for MVP. Very little hope, but it's there.
That was a best-case scenario defense.
Oh, yeah.
If I've ever seen one there for MVP.
Yeah.
And they're going to go right into Roche.
Mag didn't use his BKB, and that is kind of costly as far as giving MVP at least a small glimmer of hope. And Aegis in hand can't be stopped right now with Slack and Magnus dead.
Well, well, well. We still have a ball game here.
Maybe spoke a bit too soon here. QO with the Aegis, and what's he picked up? He's gone for the Manta style.
Blink. They get Lasso onto Phobos here. He pops his BKB. He's looking to go on the run, and he will charge himself to top lane to secure a getaway, but Lil Hardy, who does not have a charge, will be scouted out. There's the Yules. Swap, try to get the other way, but he gets dropped as well. That's 4 straight kills right now for MVP without losing anyone.
They'd love to keep fighting too. There's Slark and Vents both on the sidelines, so they can keep taking little small clashes like this. Would be fantastic for them.
Man, oh man. Not what Virtus Pro, I was calling him Virtus.Polar, not what Asus.Polar were counting on. They were hoping to go for the final blow, or create a little bit more space so they themselves could have secured that Roche, but made an overzealous play from Mag has quickly turned things around. Obviously, it's still an uphill climb here from MVP. They got to get a lot more. They want to really be able to even things up. Tier 2 tower is going to be brought down here. And they're looking to go on the way out. Mag does have another RP. Charge going to be there. Mark trying to... Nope, not going to be going anywhere, buddy. Mag jumps in. RP is going to lock him in place. QO is already on the way out. Yeah. Might have to sacrifice March here, and will.
He doesn't want to waste his Aegis on this, and he's going to go full retreat now. QO.
He's still okay. Oh, there's the skewer back.
I stopped watching him. I'm like, yeah, he's surrounded by 4 heroes. Let's make sure QO's safe. And all right. They get the takedown on the Juggernaut.
Here they go. Back the other way.
Okay.
Polar.
Pushing high ground, like just good old-fashioned high ground push. Not going to be really that easy or possible against the current QO farm, but...
Well, he has an Aegis. Somehow he can really bring in maybe a kill or so and some farm. Gets a rapier.
Yeah.
Who knows?
High ground mid is being chipped away. I'm surprised QO's not already back there trying to defend. Here we go. Fire Remit's out. Doesn't get caught out by Illidan, who was kind of rotating bottom with that Abyssal Blade. And Illidan, oh my gosh, what a cheeky item. He's going to be going Refresher. Refresh Abyssal.
That's dirty.
And refresh, even your Shadow Dance. Like, the Shadow Dance is a very important spell as a Slark. So
yeah.
It's a short cooldown, but if you want it twice in a fight, you need a Refresher, I guess.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They'll secure the final outer tower here for MVP. And now they look to slowly push towards the MVP base. Maybe stall out a bit so they don't have that extra life. They don't have that extra glimmer of hope to put up a secondary defense. But if MVP do, I don't know.
I think they're going to wait the Aegis to expire. I think the idea with this Refresher Slark is that he can actually solo kill the Ember Spirit with double Abyssal. Even if he has to refresh for it, it's still worth killing QO with the double Abyssal, which the stun duration from 1 Abyssal I don't think would be enough.
Yeah.
He can double pounce, he can just, yeah, he's got plenty of damage with a Refresher Abyssal to kill an Ember Spirit solo.
And Phobos has completed his AC. That will help as well when they go for that final siege. So waiting just for everything to be all lined up and at the ready. I say that, but look at this. Illidan and FNG. A bit of a side mission here.
Bat right on the high ground, though, and his vision doesn't see them just yet. He does move out, and he's going to join up with his team.
I hope they have TPs. Forev does not have one. He immediately starts flying back home. They're going to need it. He will pick up one in the side shop because here comes Polar down mid lane. They got to put another good defense here.
Yeah, they've still got Aegis for a good minute, so I don't think this is the timing Polar really want to go for. Even with these items coming, they may as well wait that 1 minute for the Aegis to expire.
March has got 4.5K. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. If he puts together enough farm. Uh-oh, I say that now. You're going to get caught out. Pounces there. Immediate swap back, but he pulls out the Sleight of Fist. Going to be okay for now. RP fakes once, fakes twice, gets it on QO. And now there's your Aegis. Reason, though.
Should not have blinked in there. You'd love to be able to help him out now. QO respawns and oh!
That was used Refresher Abyssal, but did not catch him.
I think it was trying to also no refresh on the Magnus, trying to get maybe a BKB RP off, but QO's still alive, still has buyback as well, so he's got 2 lives for this hold.
There they go. There's the Refresher. Tried to jump forward and get it that time. Uh-oh, Lasso going to be there on Illidan. Move forward. Secondary RP does catch QO, bullies him all the way back, and gets bashed on top of that as well. Immediate buyback now for QO. The dream of a rapier not going to be happening now, it looks like. Just more of, please, desperation mode to save your base. Gets the chains onto Illidan, steps back, swap going to be there from Lil for a little bit of extra security. They take their tier 3, and they force QO to use his buyback. And now, oh, Abyssal going to be there. QO pulls out a Sleight of Fist. Here comes the charge. If he goes down, they might as well throw in the towel.
Yeah, 2 minutes without the Ember Spirit. That is your entire fight gone. And GG. Asus.Polar going through to the winner bracket semifinals.
Another 2-0 sweep from them. Or another 2-0 sweep today. Very well done from Asus.Polar, MVP. Game 1 was a slaughter, but Game 2, there was glimmers of hope, but still.
There was QOs of hope. That was it. There was QO and
yeah.
I mean, the rest of the team just fell flat. I don't think it was like any really bad individual plays from the rest of the team, but they didn't coordinate. I just feel like Ember Spirit was making crazy individual plays, and the rest of the team needed to use their spells better together. They weren't bursting down heroes with blink initiations. They weren't using the global silence to get much done. I don't know. Guys, welcome back.
Hi.
Hello.
Wow. That was an
Brutal.
interesting second game. First game, total slaughter. Game 2, QO preventing it from being a total slaughter, but in the end, an Ember Spirit versus 5 is a little tough.
Yeah.
That really felt like Ember Spirit versus 5. He was involved in every single kill until the very, very end. I mean, that's insane.
Arteezy, take notes.
Oh, my. And look at that. That's losing team. 629 GPM on that Ember Spirit.
Yeah, very, very well played. 18-7. Their supports, though, they struggled. They couldn't really put anything together. Eventually, Lion did get that blink, but only able to blink himself into death.
So I want to talk about the Refresher Slark. That is the first time a Refresher has been picked up on Slark in a competitive match.
It's Illidan, record breaker.
You get a lot of uptime. BKB, Shadow Dance, BKB, Shadow Dance. And then on top of that, you have Dark Packs in between. So you're talking about 20 seconds plus uptime.
And your
minimum.
Abyssal.
And Double Abyssal is really important at locking down Ember Spirit. Especially when they have global silence. You can't really count on, like, after BKB, and then if he globals at the right time, they can kill the Slark. I think that's what they were going for. Since they play Slark very often, they probably know some of the better heroes to deal with them. The Silencer is decent, but versus Slark that farmed, it's insanely difficult.
Yeah, especially when he goes a Shadow Blade first item like that, the Silencer is just food. In a team fight, sure, you can set it up. It seemed like every time they use the global, like Parker used the term defensive global more times that game than I think I have in my entire casting career. And for a good reason, because they were never able to do anything with it. He would pop the global, and then they would just disengage, and the fight would start over again, less that big cooldown.
I don't think they had a single kill during a global silence that entire game.
I don't think so.
I think that was their plan, though. It's like, okay, juggle with a global or lasso into a global so he can't counter initiate with RP. And
they opened up that draft with a Bat Rider Silencer. So it looked like their hope was to be able to jump in, pop out the global, and get away scot-free with a good kidnapping and get a quick pick, but we never saw it.
Yeah. Well, it's the day of 2-0s, it would seem.
So far.
Who's going to stomp who 2-0 in the last series then?
Now, that is a good question. We do have one more coming up, and that is NIP versus the Power Rangers.
And we also did get word, Power Rangers, if you didn't already know, J4 will not be able to play with Power Rangers today.
Yeah.
And NS will be stepping off from his casting panel and going right into the player's chair.
Best of both worlds, man. Stand-in player, analyst.
You get to enjoy it all.
Who's going to be drafting?
That's a really good
Cheshire
question.
Cat, maybe?
I have no idea. We'll have to see when we get into the game. Very unfortunate for J4. It's a shame to have a last-minute stand-in like that, but well, NS a pretty accomplished player.
Is he going to be playing tomorrow, or just?
I don't think so. It's sort of a visa-ish issue. It seems like some kind of an issue with Belarus and Ukraine. I don't know the fine print, but
military like obligations. It
yeah,
looked like they said.
So some sort of apparently he spent a lot of time trying to travel here though. I think it was like 24 hours in transit. He tried to fly, then he tried to drive. There was all sorts of shenanigans that went about. So they gave it their all. Good college try.
Okay. Yeah. Ben, you need to polish up your Russian so you can stand in for these teams.
Jeez.
Yeah, watch someone on fire is going to get hurt, and then you're going to have to stand.
Oi, oi, oi! Roshan!
It's only a matter of time before you're playing one of these Starladders as a stand-in.
Ping.
Chat wheel and ping.
There you go.
That's all you need.
Chat wheel makes a difference now. You can actually say items and stuff. You know.
Did Max speak English? Because he stood in for Cloud9 last time.
I think, if I recall correctly, they said he understood better than he could speak. So I think he understood enough to kind of take directions, but I don't think there was a lot of dialogue.
He just had to learn how to say hoof stomp because like, I'm going, hoof stomp, go, hoof stomp up.
Yeah.
That's all. He had the one hero, so.
He played Centaur, what, like 90% of the games last Starladder or something? It was some absurd amount.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? So, all right, NIP versus Power Rangers around the corner. We'll have another somewhat lengthy break. That series took a little bit longer. I think it's going to be at least an hour. Stop smiling at me like that. Girthy was so last game, man, or last series.
So? I'm just smiling. I love Dota.